I think they're really important. I'm running to represent people in Quinte West in a rural ward called Sydney Ward. But what I can see all around me is the beauty of what nature has to offer. In fact, our motto in Quinte West is it's a natural attraction. And part of what art does for me, and I think it does for everybody, is it takes that natural attraction and it portrays it to people in print form, in concrete form, in fact, in music, in so many different ways. And I think given everybody's pressures and time constraints to make a living and to try to keep everything going, and going through what we went through with the pandemic, it's really important to have something that reflects the beauty and the thing that gives you something to go forward with, something that nurtures you. And I think art does that. So I think it's really important that we have that. Well, one of the things I'll do, and hopefully we're doing it with this little video, is I'll make it more aware that it is something we have to deal with and preserve. We have to participate. I think it's important for people who have talent to get out there and try to put that forward and share that. I wouldn't call myself in any way an artist, but I think we all have to express things, and I think that's part of keeping the arts community alive, expressing things, attending things like Quinte Film Alternative, coming to the gallery here, and encouraging people that are really trying to get started that they have a chance and give them some support. I'm going to raise that from time to time at our council meetings, because from time to time it comes up as to whether we should fund or shouldn't fund some things. And I'm definitely going to try to find ways that we can fund and encourage and support art in our community.
Hello, I'm Jim Ellier, and in the question of importance of arts in our community, I certainly support various types of arts, whether it be musicals, plays, or whatever, and it certainly gives each person or family an opportunity to have a different type of, I guess, recreation or something to do that is maybe not the same as what other people's likes are, but it certainly gives the segments of the population a choice, and so I would support anything in that regard. It certainly helps to form another form of education in the community and a well-being for people, to give them activity and something to be a part of and enjoy, and not have to go out of the area to take part in. And if you can do it locally, it seems that it would be much better, and people would have more input into it, possibly too. And specifically, any actions that might have to be looked at, whether it be council or community-wise, I would suggest that a committees be formed, and if any thoughts and ideas would come forward, that's what we would do, and maybe take action from there. Maybe if we needed grants or something, we could apply to the provincial and federal governments, and also, of course, the municipal government could help too in that regard. But it would need to be looked at and looked into in regards to a committee or a community group that would help to formulate whatever type of art we would want to support, whether it be the theater or musicals or whatever. It would have to be looked into, I would say.
Hi, I'm Leslie Roseblade. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to your membership. Arts and culture is very important to our community. It is a creative expression of who we are and who we want to be. It's many different things that make our municipality unique and vibrant. how people express life and live in our community. Over the past few years, the demographics of the community has changed. There have been many different cultures calling Quinte West area home. It is important to celebrate inclusiveness and to raise awareness of arts and culture offerings to increase participation and further strengthen community involvement. Quinte West needs to promote and maximize the use of existing spaces as quality spaces for generating and cultivating art and culture, such as quality places to display art in public places, such as murals, paintings, statues, and carvings. I would like to see the Quinte communities collaborate together and create a public art plan which would integrate art into publicly accessible places throughout the Quinte area. The plan will identify guiding principles so that artists' work can flourish and enrich public spaces and across all of Quinte. Public art provides free and accessible art to all and creates a dynamic landscape which will inspire our future artists and art audiences. In Quinte West, I would also like the city to continue to support and pursue funding for the Old Town Hall to create an active and vibrant venue for live theater. Thank you very much again for this opportunity. Have a great day.
Simply put, the arts are fundamental to building strong communities. Nowhere that I'm aware of has a strong, vibrant town, village, hamlet, city, etc. without a healthy, vibrant arts and culture scene. I see two huge benefits that the arts provide. One is micro and the other macro. On a macro level, cities like Quinte West need tight-knit, unifying identities that we can all relate to, identify with, and rally behind. The arts are integral to a happy, healthy community in the same way that culture and sports are. They create a shared identity and communicate shared goals, ideas, desires, and identity. There are a lot of dividing lines in our society. I'm sure I don't have to tell you folks that. Politics, economic inequality, healthcare, educations, renters, landlords, rich people, poor people. The arts can cut through all of those issues that kind of polarize and divide us into units and groups. And you can't really put a price on that. It provides tremendous value as a kind of knitting of the community together. On a micro level, it's good business. In wealthy, developed communities and nations, consumers want municipalities to focus resources and have arts-based businesses and enterprises, and especially events. It adds to the economic dynamism of a city and provides new experiences to its residents and business, attracts businesses. It's a win-win, a complete no-brainer. As a council member, I will vow to advocate for and support more arts and culture-based community events and programming. I mentioned that I'm not naive, though, and that I understand that there are constituencies and people in Quinte West that are less interested in funding what they see as, maybe less popular in the rural, kind of more urban, highbrow, fine arts, those sorts of things. I don't think that we have a ton of programming that's like that, but I hear things talked about and characterized that way, I think, by people that aren't big supporters. So I would really like to take action and kind of strengthen the community's bonds. Kind of, it's a theme of my campaign, kind of meeting people where they're at and just trying to make progress. I think that having more events and programming focusing on arts and culture is really a way to not only kind of bond the community together and focus on what unites us and things that we can get excited about and everyone turns out for, but also it really is great for businesses in the area for economic development and just really putting our community kind of more on the map. I think about something that you wouldn't necessarily connect, like yesterday we had the Hops on the Water event, and there were thousands of people there. They sold, I think it was 2,000 tickets they ended up selling, and with all the support staff and all the different vendors, there might have been 2,300 people, at the Trent Farmers Market, and it was amazing. There were people that weren't craft beer fans, that were more, people that, their sons or daughters lived in Quinte West, and they were, visiting them and making a weekend of it, to come to the beer festival. There were, your standard Coors Light drinkers from, Frankfurt or Wooler came down just to, see what it was about and be a part of the buzz. And I think there's a lot of opportunities for that, and kind of thinking about arts and culture on kind of a broader level and all of the value adds that they do for a community, and how important that they really are, I think can't be understated. So I think that whether it's interpretive dance or a documentary festival or a plowing match or a country music show, all of these events are equally important to the community, and it's about communication and framing, I think, of these events, and just kind of finding common ground, and just really focusing on these events and trying to have more of them. I know Belleville in recent years has really pushed the number of events, and they've had a lot of success, and I would really like to try to follow that blueprint, but doing it in a way that can withstand fiscal scrutiny. And I already have some ideas of different ways that some of the events could be managed to probably incur less cost to the city and let us have more without even having to spend increase the line item, but I'm open to doing those sorts of things too. I think it's something that our community is lacking in at this point, and I really want to boost tourism, hospitality services, recreation. I think that that's really the future for our region, and arts and culture fits right into there like a hand in glove. And without a thriving arts and culture community, we're never going to fully realize our tourism and hospitality potential here, like Prince Edward County does, for example, or even Belleville. We're kind of just lagging a little bit behind there, and I hope I can be a part of kind of bringing arts and culture to the fore in the next council.